And we're in. And welcome to Grounded. Now, for anybody who's asking about League of Legends, I will be posting a video this weekend about it. So let's not worry about that. Instead, let's focus on the new game Grounded. Well, not new, it's been out for a while. But today, I want to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do a challenge playthrough of Grounded. Now, what does that mean? Well, for anybody who doesn't know, challenge playthroughs are to limit oneself to create, a more difficult but more fun experience in a game. The reason I'm doing this for Grounded is quite simple. Because of how Grounded is, you're constantly switching up weapons because of bugs and stuff I'll explain later on. So I decided to try to beat the game with only one type of weapon. The weapon I've chosen is the club. And I will explain all once we get into the game. But, with that being said, let's jump in, right? Oh great, a name which doesn't matter, so let's do this. I believe there's a cutscene, so I will shut up. After we load in, and let's get gaming. It's been a minute, and it feels good to be back. Gotta say, there we go.
Stay tuned for what happens next on Yoked Girth. Now a word from our sponsor. Kids, are you ready for a new wild and wacky Punch-O fruit flavor? Introducing Apricot. It's a punch to the gut. So stop by, fill up, and make sure you get your Billy Hog hot dog before you jet away.
Good morning, Brook Hollow. Today is October 20, 1990. This is your news. We have a special breaking report. The police department has released information that more local teenagers have gone missing. They were last seen earlier this week, and the only connection between the teenagers is that they are all students at Brook Hollow High School. This could be linked to the disturbing trend of other possible abductions and missing teenagers from our otherwise quiet town. If anyone has seen the teenagers or has any other information, please contact the police department. The mayor of Brook Hollow has put a curfew into effect for anyone under 18 starting tonight. Now to other news. In the business world, prominent practical technology signs a few years ago.
Don't you just love a good cutscene setting up a game? I love how they leave enough mystery to, speculate what's gonna happen. But let's be real, we don't care about that. We want to squash some bugs, we want to do a challenge, so let's get to it. Although I gotta say, I really do love this game. Easily I would say top 5 survival game, but I don't think I've played 5 survival games. Here we are, the backyard. I was gonna say background. I don't know why. Filled with bugs and fun stuff. So we're going to hop in and immediately begin our club-only challenge. As we play, I will explain, because this first couple episodes are going to be mostly introduction while I set things up. Oh, look at that, a nice parachute with a briefcase. That's not suspicious at all. And with that, we should be in. Yep. There's the briefcase, ended up in a crack because of course it does, and it automatically opens. But with that, we are in. We wake up, half hungry, got a lot of thirst.
Pete. Oh, looks like you really stepped
Yeah,
up
you
this
sure
time.
did, Pete. You sure did.
Where in the world
Now, you
are
might be asking why I choose Pete. I think it's funny the idea of Pete well, you can tell by the way he looks the type of character he is, becoming a brutal barbarian with a club. So this is Grounded. Basically it's, you're a tiny kid, and there are bugs. And you're supposed to get back, unshrink yourself, whatever you want to call it. So how does it work? Well, like any survival crafting game, you get your resources, and you progress. Mushrooms, good source of food, so we eat up. Until later, don't worry, I usually have a more stable food source. So this is a club-only challenge. Now, what exactly does that mean? Well, simply put, in the game of Grounded, there are a lot of weapons. And I think that's a good thing, I'm not complaining, but there's a lot of weapons. And each one has their own abilities, they have their own mutations, there is mutations, which are little bonuses. There's a lot to them, and the reason I'm choosing a club first is because clubs are special in Grounded, in the sense that, guess what? Wrong thing, offline. There we go. In the sense that they do neutral damage. Now, what exactly does that mean? Well, simply put, it does damage, but it doesn't have a modifier to it. Meaning that it will be weak against nothing, but strong against nothing. So ultimately, your club will do the same thing no matter what it's hitting. Now, the reason why this is special is because almost every weapon in the game has a damage type. Chopping, bludgeoning, which I really don't get how club isn't bludgeoning, but it isn't. Slashing, stabbing, and then you have the elements of things like salty, sour, stuff like that. So by using only clubs, we're essentially limiting ourselves to neutral damage. We're going to be strong against nothing, but we're also going to be weak against nothing. I feel like it's a good, nice base place to start a challenge. And truthfully, I don't use clubs. The reason why? Their mutation, although unique, is a little bit on the annoying side. Because what it does is, you enrage. Okay, makes sense, you know, you're a berserking barbarian with a club, of course you're going to enrage. But you lose the ability to perfect block, which, you know, time a block with an attack. Pretty self-explanatory, right? And the reason why that sucks is because, well, perfect blocking is very helpful against certain bosses and tougher bugs. So losing that ability, kind of, inhibiting. So I figured like that'd be a unique challenge, unable to parry, using a weapon I never use, using armor I probably never use, because I think the club-based armor, I'm just going to call it that, is medium or light. I usually go with acorn to ladybug to whatever I feel like in the end. So yeah, the purpose of the challenge is simple, only using clubs. Why? Because I thought it'd be fun. And if I am successful, because I'm not saying I will be, but if I am successful in this challenge, I might do another one, like bows only, or dagger only, or something like that. Alright, there it is. Our first thing we need, well, we already have the sprigs, which I believe you need. Was I sprinting? But we need this. The spiky little thorns. Thistle needles. Because we need this for our very first club weapon. Now, this game's pretty good about giving you a nice variety of weapons from the start. You know, you get your quote-unquote weapons in the form of the hammer and the axe. This plant is annoying. Let me just grab a few more. Don't know how much we're going to need. 20 should be enough. I believe that's a stack. Where was I? Sorry. Taking a few weeks off really, puts a wrench in your system. And not in the good way. Let's see, crafting station, right? How do I get those again? It's been so long since I started over. I forget what I'm doing. But that just makes it more fun, right? So we come over here, we got a little more analyzing to do, which is how you get one way to get recipes. Let's see, analyze the do for workbench, which I think we need. And there we go, the hammer, the armor, and we're out of points. Okay, so for this first episode, like I said, I'll explain the rules, basically only clubs. And yes, I will venture into the idea of elements and stuff like that, but for the most part, I'm going to be doing pure damage. Let's see, workbench. I like to build up here on the baseball because it's kind of meant to be your very first base. It's called a baseball. Let's see, we need grass plates and a sprig. Oh yeah, you have to like make your tools. How do you do this again? 1 second. There we go. Let's see, I know you need rope. Let's see, the sprig. We need rope, needles. We only need 5. I got 20 and sprigs. Oh, is that really it? So I need rope and sprigs. Let's see, I think I can make another rope. And the sprigs. I thought I grabbed some. Guess I didn't. Let's see, sprig, and there should be one more. Go away. You will be a food source soon enough. Alright, so this should be... Yes, it is. We have our very first club. And I just chucked a rock. Nope, that's emotes. How do I do this again? 1 second. There we go. There we go, our very first club weapon. So we can block, we can perfect block if we time it correctly, and, well, we do damage. But this is important because now we can start unlocking the mutation, and we have our weapon. So next we're going to need some tools. So we need the axe. Let's see, how do you craft an axe? Pebble sprigs. I think I can make the rope right now. Nope, wrong thing. There we go. Let's see, pebble and sprigs. And I will be making my first armor, the clover armor, as well. Just because, you know, a little bit of protection is better than nothing. Ask anybody who plays Terraria. Boom, and I missed. Great showing for the weapon. See. So yeah, it's a challenge series. Only clubs, whatever armor, mutations, and things fit that play style. Now, could this be really good? Could this be really bad? I guess we'll find out together. But that's why it's a challenge run. Alright, come here. There we go. Our first piece of meat. Yummy. Which will be our primary food source. I like to use bows to hunt them, but you know what? This is a club only challenge. And as I was saying, clubs only is basically neutral damage. We're never going to be strong, we're never going to be weak. So basically you just go from biome to biome. Now I'm predicting this will be a little bit difficult because there are certain weapons which, let's just say, are really, really nice to have later on. And those aren't really clubs. Don't get me wrong, there is a boss club weapon which is really nice. But as I said, it's a boss weapon. Not anytime soon. So when it comes to things like wolf spiders or things of that nature, yeah, it's gonna be a minute before we're really strong. But I think that's part of the fun. Because normally, you know, you go from this, you can get a bow, make a million arrows, you can cheat out a wolf spider if you know what you're doing. And with that cheated wolf spider, you can then, you know, immediately get wolf spider armor and a venom dagger, and, you know, it's really easy to skip through. Now, the one thing I'm worried about early on, let me just, there we go, axe acquired. So now we can chop down these. Good, because this is how you build. And it's a nice way to get grass, but most importantly, the building. Gotta analyze these. But yeah, sorry, I keep losing my thought. It's been 2 weeks. I'm a little rusty. How's Rust built up that quickly? Don't ask me. I wish I knew. And you're still charging. We'll come back to you later. So yeah, I forgot what I was saying. My bad. So how are we going to progress? Well, first we need a base. And by that, I mean a place that, you know, we can at least... how do I put this? Not die at. Which is kind of what this baseball is. It's a safe location because the only way up is this branch, unless you know, build other ways up, which I don't get why you would, but I guess you would. And plenty of water, respawnable food right here in the form of mushrooms. It's a nice starter base. Is this going to be our permanent base? Absolutely not. Where am I going to build my base? I don't know. I haven't gotten that far in my mind. Alright. So after the sprig, our first upgrade is going to be killing ants. Which is not going to happen this episode because we're trying to do all the setup. We have a starter base, quote unquote, started. Let's see, we need... Oh yeah, that's how you peep. Let's see, how do you... There we go, yeah. Peeping allows you to view a creature's stats. So that way you know what they're weak or strong to. Although, you know, club only means that we're going to be strong and weak to everything. In a sense. See, this is why I'm looking forward to this. It's so different. Normally I'd be thinking, okay, what weapons are good against this? You know, getting a spear because spear's good against ants and all that good stuff. But, and this is like, I got my sprig. What else do we need? Alright, can we analyze the clovers? Yes. Skip. Lean to, which we need for sleeping. Alright, we're doing good. So we get the armor, and then we'll go start activating the machine and progress with the story. Now, I'm going to take this as slow as I need it to be. What does that mean? Well, we're not going to try to power through to the end, but we're also not going to take our time. We're going to try to speed up when we can, slow down when we can. Did I not grab a sprig? I went out looking for sprigs. Let's see. I think there's a place over here where they spawn. Yeah, there's some. Starting off from the beginning, you have no fast travel. You don't have fast travel in this game, but there are zip lines you can build, resources, there's a lot of stuff. And I can't wait to re-explore all that. So let's see. I think the first roadblock we're going to be hitting with this challenge is a pretty big one, the stink bug. I might be asking, why is that a challenge? Well, it used to be the stink bug, well, the stink bug still does its gas attack, which makes sense, it's a stink bug. The thing was you could actually make a gas mask for that. Now, that's kinda not the case anymore. Let's see, real quick. We need 13 clover leaves. I'll grab that and some other materials. But yeah, so you would get a gas mask, it would make you immune to the gas, and, yay, celebrate, you're good. Now you need a stink bug part to make the gas mask. Which means you need to kill a stink bug to make the thing that allows you to kill stink bugs. I mean, don't get me wrong, it makes sense, make it a challenge, don't want to make it too easy. But the problem is, for this playthrough, stink bugs are weak to piercing, which is arrows. And we cannot use arrows because we're kind of running up to everything and bludgeoning it with a sprig. Or club or whatever we have on hand. So, I do not know how I'm going to do that. I have two ideas. Idea number one being, get it to find another bug, hope it gets weak enough that I can go in there and get the kill. Not what I want to do, but might have to. The other option we have is, I know there's an accessory that reduces toxic damage. It used to make you immune, but now it just reduces it. That might have to be the option we go with. So that way we can actually fight it. Otherwise, I really don't know. Unless we can find a dead stink bug somewhere and gank its parts that we need, we're gonna have to be creative. But that's kind of the point of the challenge. Normally it would just be like, okay, stink bug, get a million arrows, take it down, and we can make a gas mask so we don't have to worry about that. And, doing the challenges is a lot of fun. I've been looking forward to this. My very first challenge series. And if this does alright, decently successful, I'll try it again with a different thing. For instance, I might do bows only. Bows/crossbows or something. Maybe I will try daggers only. Maybe spear only. If you have any ideas or suggestions, let me know. I'd love to hear. Alright, what else do we need for the armor? And then we can go basically do the opening mission that sets all this in motion. So let's see, we got the sprigs, we just need 4 rope. I hope we have enough. Craft max. We have more than enough. Okay, first armor. Craft and equip, craft and equip, craft and equip. There we go. We now are fully maxed out at this stage of the game. We have our spiky sprig, which again does neutral damage, and applies a bleed. I don't remember that. Then we have our clover set, which is light armor, and gets a couple bonuses. Do we really care about those bonuses? Let's see, regenerate health, really nice, as we don't really have healing available, and increase or decrease stamina use for swinging. Oh cool, you take less damage from early game creatures. I don't remember this being a thing. So basically with light armor, we use up less stamina to swing our weapon. We take less damage from early game monsters, which kinda cool. Again, we can just go blitz straight for acorn, but we're not. We're gonna take our time. And we have our weapon. So what all do we need now to finish it? Well, there's only one thing we really need. We need a lean, or 2 things actually. Let's see, rotate this, put this anywhere, build this, build. Let's see, let's just chuck that, we don't need it. Build, thank you. Let's see, set respawn point. And we need one more thing. We need pebbles, sprigs, and dry grass. I'll grab that, and then we will begin to wrap up. So yeah, club-only series. What are we doing? We're clubbing. Which again is neutral damage, and yeah, we're going to see how difficult or easy it is. Now be able to switch up what we need at a moment's notice. For, as I already explained, a good example being the, the stink bug. That's going to be our first major challenge because I believe we need that for the upgraded axe, which is actually pretty important, upgrading your tools. Who would have guessed? And then, of course, we have the Bombardier Beetle, which usually you use an axe against, or, again, projectiles are good. I'm not even going to lie. They are really good. Let's see, what do we need? Sprigs and rocks. So, can't wait to see how this goes. I'm predicting it's going to be halfway successful. I do picture a couple points struggling. You know, why wouldn't we? But overall, I think this is going to be a pretty fun playthrough. Again, I never use this weapon, so it's going to be fun trying it out. I mostly use bows on occasion and whatever weapon I feel like. And by that, I mean whatever weapon is currently the strongest. I need some rocks. How hard is it to find rocks? Or I guess technically I'm looking for pebbles from rocks. Let's see, is that enough? Yes, it is. Okay, with this, we will have our starter base and our starter setup going, so pretty successful first episode. And again, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself a lot or if it's a little awkward. I've been off for 2 weeks. I had to reformat my systems and do a lot of system checks, and yeah, let's just say it was needed. But I'm back, and I'm glad to be back. So with this, we now can cook our food, and we have our setup going. We have our crafting station for whatever we need to craft. Respawn / sleeping through the night, because night creatures we don't want to mess with. Our food source and our water source is all around us. I cannot wait to see how far we go with this. Will we beat the game? I honestly don't know. I'm predicting a couple bosses to be difficult, a couple events and items we need difficult. For instance, towards the end, the ox beetle, that's going to be annoying. Because even if you have the good weapons and armor, it's still really difficult to deal with, let alone neutral. But it also encourages us to do a little skipping. For instance, maybe we'll take on the boss that gives us a really good weapon. Overall, I can't wait for this series, and I hope you enjoy it as well. And up next for part 2, we're going to progress the story and then work on our first true armor set and weapon. What do I mean by that? Well, you have to find out next episode. Well, that was a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed playing. And if you did, please consider hitting the like button and impacting the subscribe button. It'll help out in the long run. With all that being said, this has been The Mechanist, logging off. Until next time.